When do you think America will have a female president?
When there's a competent one.
I don't engage much now on Twitter because it's sort of pointless. Everyone just falls into two tribes. It's just like cults now. There's no nuance. You can't discuss anything. No one looks at the argument anymore. Anyway, even if you can discuss it, no one looks at the argument. They decide what side you're on, and if you're on the wrong side, they discredit you somehow. They don't want to discuss it. And it is creating a new sort of dogma.
How do you perceive Vice President Harris compared to President Biden in terms of competency and experience?
I think she's worse. She doesn't even know what's going on at the border.
Right.
And that's what she was
supposed to be doing
and in charge of. I mean, as a school teacher, if I did not do what I was supposed to be doing, you better believe my job would be in jeopardy. Well, it isn't. Not only was her job not in jeopardy, she was just handed a promotion.
Is there anyone that Kamala Harris could appoint as her vice president that you would find reassuring, would make you consider voting for her?
No.
Never consider voting for her. No.
I would do RFK Jr. way before her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And she's not the first woman to run for the presidency, Hillary Clinton. I'm assuming no one voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016. So it's not necessarily going to sway you to vote for a woman in office. When do you think America will have a female president?
When there's a competent one.
I don't get a good feel for her.
I think she's an idiot.
Right.
Mary, why do you think that she's not that bright?
Because she hasn't done anything in the time that she's had. We don't know anything about her as far as her 3 years so far in the White House. She's not real smart.
We've had dogma in religion for years, that which should not be questioned. And now we've got it in politics. You can't even have to question something. It's crazy. People shot down, people scared to even ask a question, so they opt out, you know. And then people are angry that people don't speak up. Well, because they can sort of do without it.
Some here are frightened now just to go outside.
Now it feels like that whole section
we're doing that, and that's what
is just not available to the community
asking our local elected
anymore.
So
our parks are not available to
can't go there.
anymore.
Search out and give us a list of all of the empty lots that there are.
Migrants from a 4,000-bed shelter nearby fill the sidewalks. They sit on park benches, on stoops and curbs, under the BQE overpass. So many people crowded in here, residents feared what was coming.
We have been witnessing the escalation in violence on the street and in the community for months now.
We've been pleading with the mayor, as we've seen increased, that this was going to be inevitable.
And everything's amplified and exaggerated because there's no nuance in a tweet. People go down the tweets and see who people follow now, and they go, "Oh, I thought you'd follow him." Well, you should read more than one opinion. You should speak to all different people and argue with them. If there's one thing that all sides should agree on, it's free speech. And even that is trying to be closed down and restricted now. People are making up their own terms. It's ridiculous. It is. If you're mildly right wing on Twitter, you're Trotsky. You're like Trotsky. If you're mildly right wing, you're like Hitler. If you're mildly left wing, you're like Trotsky. If you're centrist, it's not appreciated by both sides. It's hated by both sides because they want you. It's like a game of British bulldog politics now. So it starts off right, and then soon you've got them all. You're all on the same side, and so you have to fight amongst yourselves. And it is that it is that thing that you'll never be woke enough not to be eventually destroyed by your own people, because everyone is saying, oh, well, you agree with that? Well, I agree with it even more. And look, I want these people who even slightly disagree with me. That's how perfect I am. But what goes around comes around. I've seen it before. At the beginning of Twitter, people would have a go at you about their issue, and they'd slam you, and you'd say the wrong term or something, and then it would be a pile-on, and people would be shut down or delete their account, and it was like a victory. But then I noticed those people, those ringleaders, would say the wrong thing for someone else's cause, and the same thing would happen to them. And then a few of them started thinking, oh, maybe I've been unreasonable. Maybe we should discuss this. maybe discussion and the arena of ideas. That's why it works. Yeah, it's crazy. It is a new dogma. It's cults just shutting down free speech because you're on the wrong side. It's mad, and they do it. They think they're doing it in the name of good. They think no, because everyone thinks they're on the right side. No one goes around going, no, I'm a really nasty, awful piece of work who doesn't know anything. I'm just full of hate, right? I just want to destroy lives, right? But no one thinks that. Everyone thinks they're on the right side. And now it's a competition to be who's the rightest, who's the most right. I am. And that's why eventually people amongst themselves, everyone's got to be 100% on your side. If they do one little thing wrong, they're destroyed. It's like, it's crazy. I remember, my mate, Warwick Davis, the actor, been loads of stuff. You know him. And he's 3 foot something. He's got a form of dwarfism, and never let it get in the way. He never plays the victim. Got a great family and kids who are bulletproof because of great parenting, And he told me that if he's in the supermarket or somewhere and a little kid sort of stares at him, he sees the mother go and pull him away like that. And Warwick hates that because he wants to talk to the kid. He wants the kid to ask questions so he can answer them. And then he talks to the kid, explains why I am Warwick, I'm an actor, this is what happened. And the kid thinks, yeah, great, yeah, he's short, so what? And Warwick loves that. That's what Warwick wants to happen. And he gets the parents doing it sort of for him, like, oh, I don't want to hurt his feelings, or I don't want to be embarrassed by my kid. But he doesn't like it when they don't let a kid question this. That's how we learn, by questioning things. There's no right or wrong questions. No right or wrong questions. That doesn't make sense, right? There are only right and wrong answers. And whenever someone says to me, you shouldn't question this, that's not how we progressed. That's not how we cured diseases or put a man on the moon. It was by questioning and questioning. Science tries to prove itself wrong, and when it can't, what it's got is the most right answer so far. Science, at any point, is the least wrong it's been. And I love it when people say that science is flawed because it's been wrong before. How can correcting yourself be a flaw? It's things like, oh, you should never question this. It was written 4,000 years ago, but you should never question it. That's dogma. Oh, anyway, that was a rant, wasn't it? No one cares. Most people don't even understand what I was talking about. Anyway, so yeah, I try not to get too in, but I do the odd retweet or stupid comment. But I just don't get into these weird that consume people's lives, tearing families apart now. Politics, identity politics, dogma versus reason and inquiry. I remember when I was growing up, everyone I knew, they're like, Dad voted Tory, Mum voted Labour, or vice versa. That was it. There was no discussion. There's no discussion. Now, difference of opinions rips families apart. It's f***ing mental.